WNOW Speedway, Indianapolis.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Home of the Joe and Alex Show.
Welcome to the Joe and Alex Show on Comcast Channel 81. Good to see you here. And by the way, you can check out the Joe and Alex Show. We're on Radio Now 100.9 weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. And let's go around the room and say hi to everybody real quick. I am Joe.
I'm Alex. I'm Liv.
And I'm producer Porkchop.
Okay.
I've noticed, by the way, I go back and watch these shows later. Porkchop's always creepy in the introduction when he says hi to himself.
Always.
Okay, now, Liv The Web Girl, I think you said this is kind of a personal thing that happened, but you wanted to talk about people with, kids?
Yes, in the workplace. So my friend kind of went through a predicament this week at work, and all of a sudden, during the day, around like 3 o'clock, they got an email at work saying that they had a meeting. And she had already a scheduled private session, for a workout scheduled at 3 o'clock that day. Mm-hmm. So she was like, I can't make the meeting. Sorry, I already have a workout scheduled. And then another person, her coworker, emailed back and said, I can't make the meeting. It's too short notice. I have to pick up my kids for work. So they told my friend who just had the workout scheduled, hey, you're going to have to skip your workout. This meeting is mandatory. You have to be there. And they told her coworker with a kid, okay, that's fine. Go pick up your kids. You can skip the meeting. So she was like, you know what? Just because I don't have kids, does that mean that I have to constantly miss out on things that are planned due to these last minute meetings? Because they happen pretty often, just the field of work that they're in. And she says that people with kids all the time get to skip these meetings because obligations they have with their kids, but she has other obligations and she's forced to go just because they're not as serious. So she's like, it's not fair that my coworkers are getting special treatment just because they have kids.
Liv, I can see what your friend's talking about, and it does suck. It's like, well, what about me? But don't you think there kind of might be something there where there is a higher priority for the actual kids needing to be taken care of compared to you working out? I understand it still sucks, it's your personal thing. You had it scheduled, but can't you kind of see where the company's coming from?
Yeah, I do, but I also just think, in today's age, with discrimination and everything, a lot of people not even physically being able to have kids, all the fertility issues, I just don't know if it's fair to just choose which is more important, because this person doesn't have kids, so whatever she has going on might be a really big priority or mean a lot to her.
I think if you have another human being that you're taking care of, then it is a little bit different. Even if it was an elderly grandmother that she had scheduled to pick up, I think she should have been let out of the meeting. I think that you are right in that it does seem like people with kids do get out of things a lot more in the workplace. I think, but if it's a meeting that is dropped on you randomly, then that's okay to say, all right, they don't have to come, because you have to schedule and plan things out with kids. It's impossible to just find a babysitter last minute or things like that at times. But if they are consistently saying, oh, sorry, I can't go to that event, sorry, I can't come to the meeting, I have kids or whatever, whenever they have advance notice, then I think that is unfair.
It's just not fair that someone could just last minute drop an email on you, oh, hey, you have to come to this meeting. I had a boss once that had a poster on his wall, and it said, lack of planning on your part does not necessarily constitute an emergency on my part. So I feel like the boss is sending this last minute email, sorry, man, not my emergency.
You might want to be careful with what you say, because we have last-minute meetings all of the time.
Oh, Porkchop, this totally applies to you. He's so upset about this.
But then again, we also all don't have any kids. I wonder if anyone listening has some kids.
Well, if there is a meeting after we do the show, actually, I got to go take care of little Jimmy. Hey, Chris, you're on the Joe and Alex Show. What's up, bud? What do you think?
I think it's totally unfair that people without kids are being penalized versus parents. But at the same time, the bosses are kind of relying on the person who doesn't have kids to get the job done.
Okay, Grant, you have actually been in the situation. What do you think about this?
I had this great job, and I was working from about 5 a.m. until 4. I loved my hours. They were awesome. And then a friend of mine, I got him hired, and his wife got pregnant, and they went ahead and they changed my hours. I mean, it was terrible. It was I had the best hours. I worked there for years. And then just because my friend was about to have a kid, they changed my hours.
All right, well, then obvious answer to this is that you should have got pregnant, right? I mean, that would have helped solve the whole problem there. No, thank you, Grant, for calling in. Jensen, what's up? What did you want to say?
I just wanted to say, having a kid is not a matter of having an appointment that you can cancel. you know, when you have a child, you have normally babysitters and other people who are also in the mix. So if you can't stay late for a meeting, it might have to do with your babysitter not being able to watch your kid later. You have to pay extra money. I've had babysitters that charge me, you know, like $2 per 5 minutes that I'm late picking them up. It's not the same as like getting your eyebrows done or having a training appointment at all. It can't even be comparable at all, I don't think.
Yeah, I think it kind of sounds like special treatment, definitely.
James tweeted in and said, "Not my fault a broad got knocked up."
True. That is a good point. I'm kidding. My wife will kill me if she sees that.
Wow, let's go back to the 1940s with him.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we're getting everybody all fired up and triggered. Actually, as a matter of fact, let's check out this week's Triggered with Alex. If you're a fan of true crime, you got to watch this.
Warning, you're about to be triggered.
A 25-year-old man in New York who used to be a bus driver pleaded guilty to raping a 14-year-old girl this week and will not get any prison time. Instead, he's just getting 10 years probation. How is this predator not rotting away in jail and just getting a mere slap on the wrist? It seems like this keeps happening. The most vulnerable in our communities, our children, being sent back to unsafe environments by the very adults that are supposed to be protecting them. Like 5-year-old AJ Friend, whose parents murdered him after CPS had been contacted 17 times in a short life. How do we prevent this from happening? Fire the people who fail to protect our kids and lack any and all common sense. Limit the amount of cases that our DCS, CPS, and social workers are given. How can one person thoroughly check in on over 200 kids in some cases? We also need to make sure that adults in our communities, not just kids, are efficiently trained in recognizing and reacting to child abuse. Learn the signs, get involved, and don't be afraid to talk about it. The Joe and Alex Show. I'm Alex. This is my co-host Joe. Liv The Web Girl and producer Porkchop. That was Triggered, and basically I do that once a week. I just go off on a different subject that I'm passionate about. You can see more of those on my social media. Just look for me at YoAlexRaps with a Z.
Okay, coming up next here on the Joe and Alex Show on Comcast, this little thing, our phone, it's got pictures and video, and you should keep those, right? What if, though, there's videos of maybe you doing a little something like flipping pancakes with an ex? Would you keep those or delete those if somebody wanted you to get rid of them? We're going to talk about that next here on the Joe and Alex Show on Comcast.
Be on the lookout for the dreaded digital deadwalkers.
Dude!
They're not looking out for you.
He's gay!
A public service safety message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world? You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Welcome back to the Joe and Alex Show on Comcast Channel 81. Now, we're on the air in Indianapolis, Indiana, on Radio Now 100.9. See, right there behind me, a little logo. Also, we're on the air in Houston, Texas, on the new 92.1 Radio Now. And our guy, Lenny Bree, runs the show for us down there in Houston, and we have him on the air from time to time, and he has interesting predicaments. For example, Lenny, we're patching you in right now. I think we got you. What's the deal? What's going on right now?
So, my good friend is going through some issues with his girlfriend. He feels like it's okay for him to keep his homemade flipping pancakes videos on his phone. Essentially, they're videos of him and his ex, and his girlfriend has an issue with that.
Yeah, I would too. Are you kidding me?
Round of applause. Great content, by the way, Lenny. I like this. You can see Lenny Bree on our Joe and Alex Show Instagram. If you're into thirsty traps, you can go after that. Well, you think it's wrong, Alex? You think it's bad?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely so terrible. It's disrespectful, and I would be so ticked off if I was his girlfriend.
Okay, here's the thing. I would be so upset if my boyfriend ever did this to me, ever. But if my guy friends were in this situation, I would kind of get it, and I would kind of think it's funny. So I think you just need to be smart about it. There are so many apps where you can hide this.
That is messed up.
Wait, what are the apps? What are the apps? Because I'm married. I need to know about these.
I don't know them off the top of my head, but Google it. There's so many. And also, like, you can just, like, lock it away a lot on your phone. There's ways to do that. So, which, if it was me, I'd be absolutely pissed. I would be so disrespected. If I was the ex-girlfriend, I would be disrespected if he kept that, because we're no longer in a relationship. I feel like that's no longer, there needs to be some sort of my consent into you still keeping that, and I'm not consenting to that anymore.
You signed the waiver. You're already done. Liv, you already signed it. You agreed when you shot it.
I wouldn't be cool with it, and especially if my boyfriend had a sex tape with his ex. Absolutely not. I would be so infuriated, and I would be hurt. But for your friend, download apps so she doesn't have to know.
Liv, does it make a difference to you if it's like pictures or video, or same thing?
I think a video is a lot worse because a nude is a nude, you know, but like a sex act between two people, that is extremely, extremely personal.
Well,
I think it's more personal.
Well, if it got deleted, we would have never had the Kim Kardashian and Ray J tape.
That's what I'm saying, but like maybe Ray J hid it, you know? Ray J hid it and was like, oh, no, babe, I don't have a video of me and Kim K. And then when he broke up with her, he said, you know what, I'm going to post this online. And now we have Kylie lip kits, which are personally affect my life every day.
If a guy is keeping it, it's because he's watching it. He's not
1000%.
just keeping it on there.
Yeah.
He's obviously actively watching it.
Yeah, but what's wrong? Well, yeah, there could be both right there. I don't agree with the blackmail part of it, but what's the big harm though? For example, and maybe you guys are just a little uptight. Let's be real here. You guys might be a little more uptight and not as loose as I am. With my good friends, I remember my one friend. I'll call her Becky. That's her real name. And she had a video of her and her ex hooking up. And it was just, I don't know, like our friends, we share that. We don't mind seeing somebody flip pancakes. Everybody looks at that stuff anyways, so I don't know why we're acting like it doesn't exist. What's the big deal if it's you with somebody else? Isn't that better than going online and seeking out somebody else? Because half of the work's you. You know what, too? I just thought of this. I'm a genius. This is kind of like practice footage to get better. Like you're putting in the work and practicing so you could be better for the game time.
That's so disturbing. I don't even have words for it. It's not normal.
I just don't think if you are in a serious, committed relationship with someone else, you should have that. What is the point? Like, you should be moved on from that person. And
you don't hold on to old pictures of anybody? You don't keep pictures from your ex?
I mean, I'll keep... Honestly, not really. I'll keep some if like I'm still friends with them, but I would never keep like nudes from an ex. And I've gotten nudes before, and I've deleted them once we've been broken up.
I think a lot more people live than you think keep things like that from their past relationships.
No, I guess they do, but like it's 2019. Like hide that in an app somewhere, because
so you're not saying get rid of it, you're saying just hide it in an application.
I mean, I would be sad if it was like my boyfriend, but I believe my boyfriend doesn't do that. But if it's like my friends, I'm like, and they're dating this girl that they don't think they're gonna marry, then they're just having fun with, and I'm like, just hide it.
Alex, you keep on shaking your head. So obviously if people don't know this here, Alex has talked a lot about it on the Joe and Alex show, you're waiting to flip pancakes till you're married. Being honest or whatever, I guess I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't tell you this. Do you ever send photos at all to your boyfriends that you've been with for like a year or two at a time? Do you?
No.
See, okay, then I think that she's excluded from this because she doesn't do that.
Wait, I have a really good point. So Alex always says that she wants to know every detail about her boyfriend's relationships, and she wants to know how good the flipping pancakes was with their exes. She wants to know all the details, what happened, what went down. What is the problem with him keeping it so he can show you?
Well, that might be a good point. Maybe he shows me, then we delete it.
Oh, as long as she gets to see it.
So then it's, you know,
just
situational.
All right, well, check this out. I've got a little something right here on my phone I wanted to show you. It's me and Lindsay, and here, I'll put it sideways.
Oh, okay. So
what do you think of that?
If you don't know, Joe and his wife have been together for how long? 7 years?
Oh, God, it feels like forever. We've been married for 3.5, but married... I'm sorry. We've been married for 3.5 years. I'm really going to get killed when she sees this. But we've been together for 7.
Yeah, and so you might say you're married to someone, then they're your soulmate. But what if your romantic partner isn't your only soulmate? What if your mom could be your soulmate?
What?
We'll talk about that next on the Joe and Alex show.
Because of you, I felt not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
America's veterans are on the tour of their lives. At DAV, we're on a mission to help veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
It's the Joe and Alex show on Comcast, also on Radio Now 100.9 here in Indianapolis on WNOW. And there is this article that's going around online. Somebody wrote a blog, and they were talking about how they feel like your soulmate can literally be anybody. It could be your mother.
Wait, my mom?
Yeah, it could be your mom.
No.
It doesn't have to be your romantic partner.
But nothing to do with incest, right?
No, just like sometimes in your life they're saying you might meet a soulmate and just it may not be romantic. Like your soulmate that you're stuck with for life could just be like a mother or a best friend or whatever. That's like who you connect with the most.
But what's the so is that the definition of soulmate?
That's what they're trying to say.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually true or not. No shocker here, but I have people that I love, even though my family's all kinds of messed up. But I don't think my mom's my soulmate. My dad, rest in peace, wasn't my soulmate. My brother, Bob, no. I got my wife, Lindsay. We've been together for 7 years, married for 3.5. She is definitely not my soulmate either.
Wait a minute. What do you mean your wife is definitely not your soulmate?
I don't know if I even believe in a soulmate. I love my wife, Lindsay. Let me clarify this. I love her. I know I sound like a dummy on the radio all the time. Liv is already not even giving me a chance to explain myself. But simply being, I don't think that you have to be married to somebody that is, quote unquote, your soulmate. I think there's a lot of people in relationships for 5, 10, 50 years that are not even with their soulmate.
If you're not married to someone that you feel like is your soulmate, then you're married to the wrong person.
I don't think I'm married to the wrong person. Are you saying that I should not be with my wife?
If you don't think she's your soulmate, I would be devastated if I was Lindsay and I heard you say that. Devastated.
You could be in love. You can be in relationships, Alex, and they don't have to be your soulmates.
I can't. I don't even correlate the two. I don't correlate it.
So, Joe, do you think Lindsay is, quote unquote, the one?
Yeah, definitely. When I went out with Lindsay, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to marry this girl.
So maybe, Alex, you think that someone who is the one, that is equivalent and equal to a soulmate. Joe believes in someone being the one. He just doesn't believe in a soulmate.
That doesn't make any sense. The one is your soulmate. It's interchangeable. It's potato, tomato,
it's
tomato.
Like a definition problem here.
No, I just truly believe, like, how many billions of people are there in the world? Like what, 7
2
billion? I don't know. Whatever the number is, I'm not a scientist. I don't figure all these math numbers, whatever. Point being is that no, I don't think you'll ever meet your soulmate. You really think as big as the world is that we're going to find our soulmate? You really believe that little fairy tale?
Producer Porkchop, you've been with your boyfriend for over 7 years. And would you say that, like, oh, I love him, like, he's a great person, I enjoy being with him, but he's not my soulmate? Or do you think, no, he's my soulmate? Like, there's no one else that could fill the place that he has in my heart?
Great question, and I do believe he's my soulmate, and here's why. Because, like you said, we've been together 7 years. There's been, like, 2 times where we split. Like, once was, like, for 4 months, and once was for 2 months. And each time we split, during those months that we weren't together, I just knew that we had to be together. Like, we were soulmates. And so that's why we ended up getting back together.
You sure you just weren't lonely? Because I know when I broke up with my wife when we were dating, like, for a week. I was like, oh, this sucks. Who am I going to hook up with? Like, it was tough. But I didn't think, oh, God.
No, because I definitely wasn't lonely because I have some other people. But,
wait, you were with your boyfriend and had other people on the side?
No. When we were split for the 4
broken up.
months. You said you thought I was lonely. I was not lonely. But I knew that I was supposed to be with him. I knew that he was the one. I know he's my soulmate.
I think that sometimes people can mix up soulmates for codependency, and I'm not saying that's what's going on in your relationship, but because I have no idea, but I just think the general public sometimes can be like, I have to be with this person. This person completes me. Like, I am not the person I am without them. Like, bro, that's not a soulmate. That's called codependency.
So, Porkchop, just to switch the attention and the heat off me, I'll come back to it. But with you, your boyfriend Chase, 7 years on and off, we'll call it 7 collectively.
Sure.
He's your soulmate?
Yeah.
Okay, then why have you not proposed yet?
Okay, good question. So, of the times that we split, I think the reason we split is because we were both so young. He is a little younger than me, but now, we are old enough, and I think we are...
And he's legal. That's a big thing in some states.
He's always been legal. But I think now we're actually at the point where I think a proposal could happen this year.
I have a question, though. If he's your soulmate, then you guys are destined to be together. So if he knew...
Correct.
If you knew he was your soulmate, let's say 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
he broke up with me.
Okay, so then when you guys got back together, how come you didn't initially propose? If you knew that he was your soulmate, you guys were destined to be together, how come it's taken you 7 years
Well, there's lots of reasons people, like, delay engagements, like financial or
Well,
career goals and things.
Alex, real quick, do you think you've met your soulmate in life, or they're still yet to come?
I am unsure. I felt like I did, but apparently I don't know that anyone that I have dated has felt the same way, like just in hindsight, because I just feel like if they truly did love me and I was truly their soulmate, like they supposedly said, then like we would be together. That doesn't make any sense.
Right, but if you only have one soulmate, then wouldn't it be the same?
That's what I'm saying. I guess I was wrong.
You better go back and talk to your ex. What are you doing?
Speaking of soulmates, I need a new soul because my feet are killing me.
Oh.
So can I get a new soul?
It smells
Put
like
it down.
terrible. Honestly, it smells like dead people.
Sorry.
Really, it smells like my
Oh
old
my
grandpa. Rest in
gosh.
peace. Okay, hey, yeah, if you want to join in this conversation, we'd love to know what you think about it. Send us a tweet at Joe and Alex Show. You can always be part of the show that way. Coming up next here on the Joe and Alex Show on Comcast, when you're with somebody, maybe a soulmate, maybe not, but when you're in that personal relationship, do they need to share this item with you? Because we totally disagree. That's coming up next here on the Joe and Alex Show.
Hey, look, those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So it turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing. And it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world? You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Welcome back to the Joe and Alex Show on Comcast Channel 81. By the way, Joe and Alex Show, we're on weekdays from 6 to 10 on Radio Now 100.9. So, Alex, let's discuss what's going on here with your friend. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, so my friend is married, and she has been telling me about how her husband is kind of a private person. He doesn't really open up to her about his emotions and things like that. And so he keeps a journal, but she did not know this until recently. And so she asked him, like, well, can I read it? And he was like, absolutely not. This is my journal. It's my private feelings and stuff. Like, that's not for you to read. And my friend is, like, really offended by that because she's like, well, I'm your spouse. I should be able to read this. And I agree with her. Like, if I was married and I found out that my significant other was keeping a journal with stuff that I didn't know, I would be devastated because I want to feel like I know everything about them. They know everything about me. So if they were keeping a journal, it's just like basically a repeat of stuff I should already know.
I love the girl that has like conspiracy theory music in her background all the time, like Big Brothers and all your stuff. Make sure you watch out. Here's big significant other trying to get all up in your stuff. It's a journal. It's a personal like keepsake. You do not share that. You do not pry into that. You do not look into that.
But
That's wrong.
what's he hiding if he's refusing to let her read it?
Well, I think the bigger concern here is the husband. How old is he?
They're like their mid to late 20s.
What? A mid 20-year-old guy having a diary? Like, really? I stopped having one of those when I was like 10.
I don't think that's that
Now
weird.
you're shaming him. Okay, good answer,
I don't
Porkchop.
think that's weird at all.
Okay, we're going to put a thing on Instagram at some point. We got to know how many guys over the age of 20 have a journal or diary.
I think it's super normal and super good for your mental health.
What?
To journal. Maybe your mental health might be a little bit more stable and good if you did
Now
journal.
you're making me feel bad.
But I have a question, Alex. Okay, say that you were in therapy. I know you're not because you kind of have like fears of going and stuff, but say that you were in therapy. Imagine some of the things you might talk about in therapy and some of the emotions you would express. Would you let your significant other be in there and sit in with you for your entire therapy session, but it not be a couples therapy?
Right,
It's just
about me.
One-on-one, and him just watch everything go down.
Good point, Liv.
You would let him do that?
Lie! That is not true!
It is absolutely true.
No.
I every single person that I have dated, if it's like gotten to a very serious point, like I really do tell them everything. I have told like guys that I've dated things that I haven't even told my best girlfriend.
You told them about your 6th toe?
Yes. Listen, don't bring that up. That was for him to know, not them to know.
I have a question again. Have you ever vented about a significant other to any of your best friends, close friends, and do you read those messages that you send to your friends venting about them? Do you read them to your significant other?
Yeah, I usually screenshot them and send them to him.
Ugh.
You're a lunatic.
Yeah, well, duh. Welcome to the Joe and Alex Show. Hold on, 833 Joe Alex. Linda, good morning. You're on the Joe and Alex Show. What did you want to say?
As far as like a marriage or relationship, yes, I'm going to go through your stuff. Yes, I want to know. Not because I feel insecure or anything. I want to know, like, what do you have to hide? Like, if it's going to affect us, then you need to let me know. But I have to go through your stuff to find out that, oh, we have a problem going on and I didn't even know.
Okay, you sound like you have a problem in your relationship, Linda.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling, by the way.
Maybe the problem is that you're a lunatic. That's why you have a problem in your relationship, because you're crazy.
Crazy girls stick together.
Yeah, you single awareness clubs.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Exactly. They stick together with each other, but not with their significant others.
All right, hey, let's check out one of the most tastiest things you can put in your mouth. That would be Joe's Drink of the Week. That's Joe's Drink of the Week. You can get all the information about these at joeandalexshow.com, or
you can come check me out and get some drinks at the Red Room in Broderpool.
It's the Joe and Alex Show. That was Joe's Drink of the Week, the Stormtrooper team. Thanks for sharing that with us in honor of it being May, and, May the 4th be with you and all that good stuff. All the Star Wars fans. Yeah, we're so excited.
I love the drink teeny.
When we come back, more on the Joe and Alex Show.
Because of you, I felt not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy. Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know. That's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No. Oh, no.
Welcome back to the Joe and Alex Show on Comcast Channel 81. But hey, the fun doesn't stop here. We sound better on the radio because you can't see us. You can listen weekdays from 6 to 10 on Radio Now 100.9. You can also check everything out that you might have missed at joeandalexshow.com. And if you like podcasts, I do. Just search for the Joe and Alex Show. That's for Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We are pretty much everywhere. And, of course, social media, Joe and Alex Show. Now, if you want to follow me, it's Joe Pesh Radio.
At Yo Alex Raps with a Z.
Mine is at Liv Caris, LIVCARRIS, for Twitter and Instagram.
And mine is at Producer Porkchop.
And he doesn't have a Twitter, which I think is the weirdest thing in the entire world.
Well, actually,
why is it so weird?
I do. It just got hacked by people from Iraq, and I've never fixed it.
What? Okay. All right. Well,
that is just a time to unload another time. Of course it is. Only Porkchop would have his Twitter hacked by someone from Iraq.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week here on the Joe and Alex Show on Comcast.
Bye.
WNOW Speedway, Indianapolis.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Up in the morning. Home of the Joe and Alex Show. Radio Now 100.9.